Hello and welcome back to my channel. In this week's episode I'm making a break for my vise that will allow me to bend sheet metal parts like this cover for my encoder for my DRO, because I will have to reposition it to the back, because at the moment when I turn big diameter parts it gets in the way. The DRO shows the exact position of the X and Z axis. Here it's written Y, but on the lathe it's usually a Z axis. The one I have on the lathe is one from AliExpress, and it works perfectly. I have no complaints about it. Obviously, I don't know how long it's gonna last, but we will see. So, in this video, I am trying to make this vice brake. This basically means just a prism that I can attach somehow to one side of the vise, and a piece that pushes it into the prism that I will attach to the other side of the vise, so I can bend the sheet metal by just pushing it into the prism. For the pushing part, I think I will just use some plate steel that I have laying around. So now I am just setting up my workbench outside, because I don't want to have all the dust and the fumes inside of my workshop from grinding and welding the things, the pieces. If you have any ideas for future videos, write them in the comments. I really appreciate it. Also, always wear safety goggles when working with dangerous tools like this angle grinder. Here I'm cutting out all the parts for the brake. I just had some raw stock laying around, like the angle iron and the plate seal. And after I cut out all the parts to size, I then put on a other grinding disc and deburred all the parts and the sharp edges, um, and also grinded the fillets so I can weld the parts better. Here I ground some flats on the steel that will allow me to position them closer to each other. And after that, I cleaned up all the parts, or at least the sides that I will weld. Here I ground down the corner because it would get in the way for me to put it flush on the vice jaws. So I had to grind them down. I'm still working on the camera angles. I still am not very good at it, but I'm trying my best, and I will figure out a way to actually film the things so you can see what I'm doing. But here I'm just cutting threads. These threads will be used to clamp the steel plate, so I will be able to change that out if I want to. Now we come to the welding part. Here I set up my welder. It's just a normal stick welder. Um, It works fine, at least for me. Um, I aligned the parts to extreme precision, but it will be sufficient for this. Then I tack them in place, and after that I weld them completely, or three sections. As you probably can tell, I'm not a welder. I am absolutely an amateur at this. So forgive me my welds, but so here I'm welding in the other side with the threads, and I just put in the plate as a spacer, and also a piece of paper that I folded a few times to get a better spacing. Yes, I do need a better camera mount because this did not work. I didn't tighten it enough, so it just drooped down after some time. Here I'm welding the prism. I was just clamping the rod down because it was really bent, just from the factory, and probably it also warped a bit because of the tacking, but I don't think that was the problem here. I would really appreciate if you could tell me in the comments if the way I'm cutting the video is okay, or if it's not so good to watch. I would really appreciate that feedback, because at the moment I have no clue if it's actually any good. I think it's not bad, but I can't really tell myself, so I would really appreciate some feedback. And here I'm putting on the bending plate. Now I align it in the vise. I put some screws and plates on the underside so I can clamp it both pieces down on the vise. This does work, but it's really not an optimal solution because the screws are in crooked, so they push the thing out of alignment. So I have to put them together, then push them down, and then tighten them. But they still move a bit, as you just could see. But it does work. There are still some things that I can improve about this design, like the mounting of both pieces. My idea was with that I could bend bigger parts on the side, but for that I would really have to mount them solidly to the vise. If I just put them there, it will not be enough, because it will just close on the other side instead of the side I want to bend. And that's it for this week's video. If you liked it, I would really appreciate a like or a subscription. And if you're interested what this is, you should subscribe for a future video.